The scene fades as the series narrator, DEA agent Steve Murphy, Boyd Holbrook, ruminates aloud on the ease of tracking and recording people in the modern age of cell phones versus the difficulty of doing so in Colombia in 1989. In real life, Murphy was involved in the pursuit and capture of Pablo Escobar. Ultimately, as Murphy recounted for PBS in 1997, it was Escobar's insistence on using his primitive brick satellite phone that led to his capture. It is fitting then that the first sequence of events in the show include agents listening in on one of Escobar's men, who is talking on a satellite phone. From that call, agents glean a future location for the careless talker, a hitman dubbed Poison, Jorge A. Jimenez, and Murphy tips off local police. The result is a bloodbath at a karaoke bar, with police slaying hitmen and innocent bystanders alike. Although Murphy has clearly set up the slaughter, he warns the viewer, "Don't call me a bad guy just yet." The idea of who is good and who is bad and whether those labels are accurate or fair becomes a recurring theme. As the opening credits begin, the screen cuts to images of Colombia and of the real Escobar. After, Murphy narrates a brief history of the roots of the South American cocaine trade. In the 1970s, we are told, the cocaine trade was booming in Chile. Then, Augusto Pinochet took over and put an end to it, shutting down labs and executing drug makers. In one mass execution by firing squad, a man nicknamed Cockroach, Luis Neco, survives when the bullets missed him and he plays dead. The enterprising criminal decides to move his business to Colombia. When we are introduced to Escobar, Wagner Mora, he's smuggling TVs and stereos, and successfully intimidating Colombia's version of FBI agents by rattling off personal details about them and their families. Cockroach decides to go into business with Escobar, and in the next scene we witness a first meeting between the future business partners. Cockroach explains coke to Escobar and initially just asks for help smuggling it into Colombia, with the intention of selling there. Then, Escobar points out that if it's selling for $10 in Chile, imagine how much it would cost in Miami. Meanwhile in Miami, Murphy is chasing down pot dealers in flip-flops. While celebrating at a bowling alley after busting just such a person, Murphy meets his future wife, Connie Joanna Christie. After some cajoling, he snags her number. After watching Murphy meet his love, the scene switches back to Escobar meeting his love, a money-making coke lab. On the spot, Escobar buys 5 kilos of coke paste, but later ups it to 60 once he realizes just how much he can hide in the wheel wells of 3 cars. At a profit of $9 per gram, Escobar estimates he'll net more than $500,000 a trip. To process the paste into powder, Escobar builds a mom-and-pop operation in a Medellin house. He enlists the help of the Lion, John Michael Ecker, to smuggle the drugs into the U.S. in a jacket tailored by Escobar's mother. As the business grows, the smuggling operation expands to include corrupt pilots and female drug mules, and Escobar opens larger labs, hidden under cover of the South American rainforest. As the drugs come north, so does the violence, and Murphy struggles with guilt after killing a 17-year-old Colombian kid in a drug-related shootout. It's a sobering moment and one that makes clear that unlike other popular tales of drug trafficking, Scarface, Blow Narcos is not glamorizing the drug trade. Back in Colombia, Cockroach makes a fatal mistake. Wanting a bigger share of the take, he tips off the police to the true value of Escobar's shipments. Realizing they should be getting a bigger share of the take, too, the police confiscate a large shipment of paste. When Escobar shows up at the station to confront the officers about the interference, he curses them out and then thoroughly freaks them out by grinning ear to ear and hamming it up as he gets arrested and has his mugshots taken. After he's booked, Escobar sits down to negotiate. When one of the officers mentions the dollar value of the shipments, the drug lord realizes some has talked. He offers the police $1 million in exchange for the name of the informant. Accordingly, Escobar orders a hit on one of Cockroach's men in Miami. The shooting goes down during an undercover bust and Murphy's partner dies in the crossfire. The killer gets out on bail and flees to Miami. It's another sobering moment. The ensuing montage includes footage of Nancy Reagan imploring kids to just say no to drugs before the scene switches to Cockroach screaming, "No," as Escobar executes him. As Cockroach says no, Murphy says yes to entering the front lines of the drug war. He and Connie board a flight to Colombia to fight the war up close and personal. The last scene of episode 1 shows Escobar's reaction to the karaoke bar bloodbath. He puts a $500,000 price on Murphy's head. Thanks for watching. See you in next episode. Subscribe for more videos.